So we'll get right into it. Next slide, please. Next slide. So I'll just go into a little bit about the beginnings of our organization. So you see the date there, it's 2019, but we actually started in November of 2018. We just held our first meeting on August 1st, 2019. Since our founding as a nonprofit organization encouraging computer science and robotics, we've come a very long way. Over the past several years, we've held numerous free online coding camps, imparting the passion of coding to hundreds of young children. Our impact has been felt at home, where we donated hundreds of masks and face shields to local communities during the COVID-19 crisis, as well as hosting two in-person robotics and coding camps. Our impact has been felt globally, in countries such as Tanzania, where our outreach efforts have yielded fruit in the form of a CS conference taking place in the country this year, or in countries such as Cambodia and Kenya, where we have sent water filtration bottles and computers. Today, we celebrate all that we've achieved this past year and welcome the new board members for another amazing year ahead of us.
So with that, I'd like to read our vision statement. So our vision statement is that we do not let our age restrict the good that we can do. We're giving it our best to progress humanity to a better place.
So I'll go a little bit into our sister organizations. This year, we worked with five, to make all of our functions possible. With E3 Empower, we've continued a fruitful relationship with them in Tanzania, helping provide a powerful coding education to dozens of underprivileged students. In addition, we've set up an in-person opportunity to bring help directly to those who need it the most. We've worked with Books International, so a portion of the money that we raise through donations and coding camps goes towards their organization, where they use the donated money to distribute books and provide an early education to the ones in need. Similar to Books International, Bluescope provides an education to not just children, but also the elderly. We provide the coding tutorial contents for their website, which is an educational platform for developing countries. We've also worked together with CYSA, or Computer Science Youth of America. It's a student-led international organization committed to providing outstanding STEM education to high school students worldwide. The organization's primary goal is to cultivate students' potential and empower them to become future leaders. Broken Technologies is a Tanzanian startup company founded by Future of Tanzania graduate Frank Musa, dedicated to empowering Tanzanians with practical technology skills. They have held a cyber innovation hackathon in which Tanzanian students were able to pitch their startups to a panel of judges.
So with that, let's start with the Day 2024. So this school year was another very successful one for Voice of Calling, and once again, we've helped a countless amount of people. So let's go over what we've done from 2023 to 2024.
So as Baron said, I'm just going to recap all of the major events that have happened this past school year. We started off the year with College Dash, and then we went straight into our fall coding camp. Afterwards, we had the fourth season of Future of Tanzania, followed by two of our winter coding camps, along with the spring coding camp. After that, we had a showdown in Tanzania, and then our summer coding camp, and finally, our board election. Succeeding our board election, we've held the in-person Voice of Dream Robotics camp. I want to give a personal shout out to all of the great teachers who have put in so much effort and time to make this year a success.
So Voice of Calling has been hosting coding camps for students ever since 2020. All of our coding camps are remote via Zoom in order to reach a growing audience of students who live across the world. Our goal has been to offer a basic understanding of Scratch and Python to all of the students in our community who need it.
Here's a small collection of photos from the coding camps that we've taught via Zoom throughout the years. In total, we've taught about 3,312 students. Props to all the members and alumni for their amazing contributions. This year, we had a fall, 2 winter, a spring, and a summer coding camp, as well as a Future of Tanzania season. And we were able to reach even more students than last year, which was 863 last year. In total, we've taught about 874 students in the year 2023 and 2024.
Want to share? Or... Yeah, you want to share? Okay. I'm just going to stop share. Okay. Brian, you see where it shows?
You want to click sign in, and then using the username and password you guys wrote down earlier, you want to
so there's a one
type that in.
which represents there's an uppercase A
The
which
one you guys wrote down earlier,
represents
you want to put that in and paste
help you through
do you have any questions or
This is our last day of
it. Yeah, so basically you're at this video game, it's called Super Race. You want to click scratch right here.
Finding your own story. You guys will continue to make your own game. And so you guys are going to be playing to break our own shores.
All right, next we'll talk about the marketing efforts made by Voice of Calling. So first of all, I want to introduce you to our link tree. So this is our link tree for Voice of Calling, and this contains all the essential links for Voice of Calling, such as our GoFundMe, our websites for our different projects, and our social media page, which includes Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. All right, and then voiceofcalling.org is our website where you can learn about all the different projects that we partake in and just look at all the work that Voice of Calling has done so far. All right, and then next we'll talk about our social media pages. So we have two main pages, Instagram and Facebook. And so far, Instagram has gained 149 followers. And for the past 90 days, we have reached 319 accounts and 198 engaged with us. And this is just like a screenshot of what our page looks like. And for Facebook, we have 209 followers so far. All right, next, we'll talk about our Discord briefly. It's really important that all Voice of Calling members follow up with Discord because this is where our communication takes place and all the essential things, all the essential information, Discord contains it all. So let me just give you like a brief tour of Discord. So first, we'll divide this up into a couple of sections. So the first section is the general, where it contains just all the general things that all Voice of Calling members should have access to. So this first channel is our welcome channel, where all the new members drop in, and then we are all able to greet each other. And next, we have our rule docs, which contains all the protocols, attendance sheets, things like that, and all the rules that Voice of Calling members have to follow, especially online. All right, and then next, this is probably the most important channel of them all, where we have updates to all the latest announcements that Voice of Calling offers. GN Teacher and all of our presidents are able to post different things, different signups and different accomplishments that Voice of Calling has done. All right, and next, we have our sign up links. So sign up links tend to get lost in the announcements channel. So this channel just contains all in a nice stack of all the different events you guys can sign up for, and all the coding camps, Voice of Dream, things like that. Yeah, very handy. All right, next channel. This channel contains everything that pertains to attendance. We have our attendance sheets where all the members can log their hours. All right, next channel is our meeting slides. So after each general meeting, our presidents post the meeting slides. And if you happen to miss a meeting because you're busy with something, then you can always just click on the date and you can just catch up with all the information. All right, and then our next channel will be our member pictures, which contains all the pictures of the members in Voice of Calling, and it's just like a nice way to build like a sense of community, especially because we're online. All right, and then next is just our resources, certain brochures, certain links that you can look through, and yeah, just PDFs, files, things you should have access to. And similar to the resources, our useful info contains different scholarships, different YouTube links, and different like resources for incoming seniors and things like that. All right, our next channel will be our College Dash channel, which is the alumni or graduating seniors of Voice of Calling share their last words with all the members of Voice of Calling. It contains certain questions that we ask them, and then it's just like a nice way to just listen to their journey in Voice of Calling and then their transition to college. All right, and then next channel will be our fundraising resources. So it has our GoFundMe and our Facebook page, everything that relates to marketing, really. All right, and then next channel is, since Voice of Calling is a coding nonprofit organization, it contains all the resources that we should use for teaching coding, and it has just a couple of links that you guys can look through. All right, and then our next channel will be the President's Award. We'll get into this more later, but this just contains like a general gist of the different things, different requirements for each age group for the Presidential Service Award. All right, and our last channel for our general section is our general discussions, where pretty much any member can contribute. There's like a holiday. It's just like a pretty chill space where Voice of Calling members can interact. Okay. All right, and then going into our next section, which will be our coding classes. So our first channel for coding classes will be our class handbook. And I would say this is probably one of the most important ones because all coding class teachers should have access to this channel. It contains all the links to the curriculums, attendance sheets for that coding camp, different emails that you need to send, templates for that, instructions for all teachers. So it's very, very important. And next is our announcements. So this announcements channel only relates to coding camps and coding classes. So this will be like a place where the president of education, student teacher, and people like that will just send out reminders to do different tasks and yeah, things like that. All right, our discussions channel. It's where if we have anything to discuss amongst teachers, from teacher to our supervisors, it's like it's basically like a discussion board. Yeah. And then our next channel will be our compliments channel, which is where we receive updates on the donations that teachers receive from the parents. And it has nice messages that really encourages all the teachers. And our issues. So of course we're bound to have issues in coding classes. So if there's like certain issues, technical difficulties and things like that, this is more like an urgent form of the discussion board. So yeah. And then our last channel for coding classes is after each coding class, teachers are required to upload class pictures. So this just builds like a sense of community amongst voice of calling members. We get to see the kids learn, and it's just a nice way of looking through our accomplishments. All right, and then next section is the committees, where if you happen to be involved in any committee as a voice of calling member, there's the Big Bang Committee, Education Committee, Finance, and Website Committee. These are your channels for that. And our next section will be our projects, and we'll get into each of the projects in more detail later. But if you want to participate in any other projects here, or if you are already part of one, then you can access the Discord channels for each of the projects. All right, and then our last section will be our footprints, where it's literally a footprint for voice of calling. So there's the day from last year, contributions and stories, different things that voice of calling has done, donations that we gave, the impact we had to Tanzania and other foreign countries. And we have our coding camp analytics, the donations that we received, everything. It's just like a nice gallery of accomplishments that voice of calling was able to do. Okay. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Discord. All right, so as I mentioned briefly earlier, College Dash is an annual meeting where we invite voice of calling alumni who went to great universities to listen to their college app preparation experiences and their transition to college life. And these are some of the colleges that voice of calling seniors were able to get into. Some of these are really prestigious colleges, and we take pride in the great people that we are able to produce through voice of calling.
So now we're going to go into some of the projects that we've been doing here at Voice of Calling. So these include the Voice of Coding, Voice of Books, Voice of Dream, Voice of Peace, Future of Tanzania, Showdown, and Ataxia V projects.
And then if we just do return nums, it'll return the list of the rightmost digits. And then if we run it, we see that it works.
Int I equals 0, I is less than.
Given an array of symbols, return string each support.
Today we will be solving string 1 and cat.
So, array 220, and then the array 1 to 20.
When a string, return a new string where the first and last chars have been exchanged.
Create a string variable, string s.
Is create an integer variable and we'll call it answer.
String 2 on codepath.com.
And then
so the first project that we're going to go over is Voice of Coding. Here are some of our YouTube's current analytics. We have more than 400,000 views and more than 900 subscribers. And some of the more specific analytics are that we have 46 playlists, approximately 959 subscribers, 661 videos, and 464,834 views. And here are some compliments from people that have watched our videos. Some of them are very nice explanation. I always come to your solutions if I'm stuck. Thanks for doing this. And in our YouTube channel, like I mentioned earlier, we have a total of 46 playlists on our channel. And recent additions include the Voice of Books playlist, the Python basic tutorial playlist, and the USACO playlists. This video, Logic 1, which is a coding bat exercise using Java, has been Voice of Coding's most popular video. It has gotten 8.2K views and received 76 likes. The next project we're going to go over is Voice of Dream. Voice of Dream is Voice of Calling's free in-person coding camp that we hold for 3 days every summer. This year, from July 29th to 31st, we had a total of 9 students learn Scratch, Python, robotics, and 3D modeling. Students coded their own video games, built unique robots, and designed 3D houses. On last day of the camp, we held a competition for students to show off their robotic skills. So the next project we're going to go over is Voice of Books. So through Books International, distribute book Beware of Mosquitoes in Swahili language to 500 children at Tumbi Primary School in Tanzania. The same program also gave us a chance to educate local nurses on preventing malaria. Lots of local teachers shared with us that this is the first time that malaria prevention has been presented like this as a picture book. It is our job to make sure that these children get to have their own books. And these are the educational tablets. The pictures above are the educational tablets distributed to elementary schools in the Turkana, Kenya area so that they could study. And we have also partnered with the principal of E3 Empower IT Academy, Chiang Ri, and sent over $5,000 in 2021 to purchase many educational devices and other materials for Dolphin Smart Daycare. As you can all see, these donations make a direct impact in creating a more educational friendly environment and ensuring a brighter future for these children. And the photos above, these are photos from our second campus at Dolphin Smart Daycare. And make sure to check our Voice of Calling's Facebook page to learn more about it. Baron and Eva created and provided a manual video for an online educational app called educate.net.
Click on Creation Story. In the All section, you can view all the videos. In the Old Story, you can view Old Testament videos. You can click on a video to view it. You can go back to the story list. For the New Testament, you can click on New Story. You can also watch videos here. To go back to the story list, click this button. Click on
And voiceofbooks.co. We're currently building an app that reads books to children so that we're able to give access to kids who do not have access to books. And we're looking for members who can complete this project.
So Voice of Peace is another project we've worked on at Voice of Calling. And Voice of Peace is this web storefront that supports artists from Tanzania and Africa as a whole. Basically, we allowed them to sell their works to an international audience, which allows them to reach many more customers than they normally would, which is by selling to tourists that might happen to be in the area. This work started when we met Ezekiel in the Future of Tanzania program, and we learned that he was a great artist, but he couldn't find any customers, especially due to COVID and other issues happening at the time. So we came up with Voice of Peace as a way of supporting artists like Ezekiel, who might live in local areas and not really use art as their main source of income, and hopefully enable them to use art as something they can use to support themselves and their families. So you can see the website on the next slide. Yeah, and some example artworks from Ezekiel. And especially recently, we've been competing in several appropriate technology and development association assistance funding programs. So we've been awarded the Appropriate Technology Award at the 9th International Appropriate Technology Idea Sketch Competition, and also the Best Presentation Award at the International Conference on Energy, Aquatech, and Sustainability 2024.
Hi, I'm Hamosu Wu. We will introduce our application program Ataxia V, Quantitative Assessment and Treatment System for Ataxia on the Cloud. Ataxia is a degenerative disease of the nervous system that is caused by damage to the cerebellum. Ataxia is similar to the Parkinson's disease. Some patients have trouble walking, speaking, swallowing, or moving their eyes. In some cases, ataxia can even lead to death. Although it is a serious condition, it is rare, so data and research on it are lacking. In order to evaluate ataxia of the upper limbs, neurological tests include the finger-to-finger test, the finger-to-nose test, and the PEG test. The problem with these tests is that it is difficult to obtain a quantitative value, and as a result, leads to inconsistencies in evaluating the patient's condition and treatment effectiveness.
We developed Ataxia V1 to ensure that all patients were tested and diagnosed in a standardized environment, implementing the use of computers during the process to obtain the quantitative data accurately. Ataxia V1 collects quantitative data by testing and analyzing the abnormality in patients' upper limb motor control through online resources. In a 900 by 600 region on a 1080 by 1920 touchscreen monitor, a patient draws a straight line connecting the starting and ending squares with their fingers as the system simultaneously collects the data. An analysis is performed on the number of failed attempts, times the patient's finger moves out of the designated experimental area, discontinuities, reverse movements, completion time, and total deviation area. Using OpenCV and a blue marker, Ataxia V2 aims to eliminate the limitations of the patients on a computer screen by conducting the experiment in a 3D environment, which is similar to current diagnosis methods.
Ataxia V3 was developed to not only test and to bring quantitative data, but to perform rehab exercises as well. We developed Ataxia V3 to make 3D games using Unity and Leap Motion controllers so that patients can participate more actively in testing and rehab exercises. The touching rhythm game is where patients touch randomly appearing balls to make them disappear, and through this game you can test the stretching and pointing of the arms and shoulders. The throwing object game is a game in which you grab a box and throw it to hit a target, testing the grip strength of your hand and the control of the patient's arm to initiate the throw. The voice recognition maze game is where patients give a command with their voice to move a ball in one of 4 directions. Up, down, left, right, to collect coins located around the maze so that speech-impaired patients can continue to speak and practice targeted pronunciations. We are currently developing an accumulating stage on the cloud, and we plan to try clinical trials on ataxia patients. The web app system of Ataxia serves as a data-intensive application, as it can be easily accessed without an expert, with a reasonable operating cost and no prerequisites required to run the system. With the data collected, machine learning will diagnose ataxia patients more accurately and develop new treatment methods as soon as possible.
So the Ataxia V project has continued development this year. Continue to the next slide. Ataxia is difficult to diagnose due to its extreme variety of symptoms and the uniqueness of specific cases. SERQ is a novel framework for accurate ataxia diagnosis. As many of you are aware by now from the video, ataxia is a degenerative disease of the nervous system. Its symptoms can include a lack of coordination, difficulty walking, and problems using parts of their body. In previous iterations, we created online games to test for ataxia. Now we've created a more sophisticated computer system for ataxia diagnosis that has already undergone testing in Chungbuk National University Hospital. Once again, the International Conference for Ataxia Research has allowed us to attend their event. I just sent a link in the chat so you guys can access the website if you want and see what we've done so far. So as of now, we have created the touching rhythm game, the throwing ball game, and the voice recognition maze game, all three of which you saw in the previous video. This whole package was known as Ataxia V3, which is basically the third generation of work done for the Ataxia V project. More details about what we've done so far can be found on the website, and this effort was mainly led by previous board members and still remains in development. If anything that you've just seen interests you, then you can always join.
The Python class generally it was very okay, very interesting. If I can recall, we were doing some projects like the rock paper scissors games. You know, when you code things, then you just play them, then they display. So it was very interesting.
We are doing some works here. For example, I did this one. Let me save it and I'll show you. Here it is. So I just like it was making my own website, and it is titled is Global Warming.
I just by learning this class because we will be learning different things. I just wish to come to design some things and some lessons like Microsoft publishes. They will help me about designing different things.
To the kids who are not here, I'm just advising them that this program is very interesting, it's very motivating, and it's very perfect. So they should really miss just to be here, because this thing is very important, not only individually but also in our daily lives, and it's very potential and very profitable when we just learn it and do it so great. It brings a lot of success, so it's very great, yeah.
It's great because there's a lot of sharing of experience, like Tanzanian experience and US experience. We are like sharing, and we are getting a lot from them. They are somehow ahead, and then we are trying to catch up and bring the technological change here. So future of Tanzania is actually so youth are the future of Tanzania, and here so we are trying to train them so that they can become more productive in the future, and then that means the development of Tanzania.
Future of Tanzania is another project where we aim to uplift and donate towards impoverished children in Tanzania. Through the help of our Voice of Calling members, we aim to teach Python and machine learning to high school students in Tanzania. In December of 2023, we started our 4th season. Teachers from LA taught from 9:30 to 11:30 p.m., and the students in Tanzania tirelessly learned live from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. We successfully ended our season in the 25th of January.
Throughout this project, we were able to accelerate these students' learning and competition level. Our goal is to ultimately lead all students to become proficient in Python. As we move on and get bigger, we hope to not only teach Python and machine learning, but also prepare the students for international competitions such as CodeQuest and competitions in HackerRank, and implement TensorFlow in our machine learning curriculum. Since 2024, Voice of Calling has been operating the Life and Research Center. Through the center, various activities such as research competitions, paper publications, conference presentations, and startups are being conducted. The Voice of Peace organization with Yunju Song and Daniel Song was entered during 2024 SMART competition, which is a competition aimed to give college students experience in business. The group eventually finished in 3rd place.
Voice of Peace was also nominated for and received the Appropriate Technology Award at the Youth Appropriate Technologies Ideas Sketch Competition, including the full team of Elizabeth Choi, Justin Kim, Ethan Lee, Joseph Jang, Jason Kim, Reina Bay, Jason Song, and Alex Ho.
We were also recognized at the International Conference on Energy Approach, Aquatech, and Sustainability, hosted in Seoul, which was nominated for the Best Presentation Award for the case study of empowering young tech talent through the Cyber Innovation Hackathon in Tanzania, and the research on the socioeconomic potential impact of empowering Tanzanian artists and facilitating their access to global markets through digital art platforms.
And lastly, Voice of Peace was also recognized as a startup and received ODA funding, and with the whole group of not only just Voice of Calling members from across the United States, but also alumni and members living in Korea and Tanzania.
The Tanzania Gen AI meetups are monthly events hosted by one of our collaborator organizations, Brocken Technologies. These events host various speakers and workshops, and are open to anyone interested in learning more about generative AI. These workshops are typically along a particular theme, for example, responsible AI. We've had the opportunity to host a talk on large language model-based agents and are actively trying to help expand these meetups to reach people in other countries across the African continent.
Over the years, Voice of Calling has raised money through Coding Camp fundraiser and crowdfunding. Using the money, we donate towards countries and communities in need. With the help of our voice of calling teachers and leaders, we have raised a total of $4,500 throughout this year's camps. This year, we received a total of $1,260 from the parents of the camp students, $1,800 from our own voice of calling members, which are Elizabeth, Tyler, Ian, and Aiden, and a grand total of $3,940 from student teacher. This means that we were able to raise a grand total of $7,000 this year. Using the money we've raised, we have donated towards these organizations: E3M Power, Lockery Secondary School, Broken Technologies, and Foster and Low Income Family. These are our total expenditures this year of $686. From the start of 2020 to today, we have donated a large sum of $32,241.12 to COM Mission, MON, E3M Power, Missionary Park Hong Sun, Books International, National Ataxia Foundation, and Foster and Low Income Family.
Now let's take some time to acknowledge the people that make it possible: the previous board, graduating members, new members, and all of us. Our 2023 to 2024 board has worked so hard to lead our members through many projects this year. We want to give a special thank you to Sean and Taeyeon, our presidents of operations, as well as to Eva and Nathan, our presidents of education. Okay, and next, our former president of education, Nathan, is here to give a speech to us.
Great. Yeah, so hey everyone. Just for those of you who don't know me, like if you're new to the organization, my name is Nathan King, and I was the previous co-president of education along with Eva. So yeah, ever since I joined Voice of Calling in 10th grade, I've been exposed to many opportunities to use my computer science and programming knowledge for community service. So through Voice of Calling, I was not only able to teach kids Python and Scratch, but I was also able to do some international service as well, right? Especially through Future of Tanzania, I organized a hackathon for Tanzanian high school students and was even able to present that stuff at the international conference. And yeah, basically, Voice of Calling has given me a bunch of opportunities for community service and specifically computer science related community service, which I think is kind of quite rare. So yeah, I'm very grateful for these opportunities that Voice of Calling has given me, and I hope that the rest of the members have also have like a similar experience as well. And yeah, that's kind of all I have to share. Best of luck to the new board members and to the rest of you guys as well for the next year.
Thank you, Nathan, for that speech. We also want to thank our previous board members. We want to thank Baron, our VP of Tech, David, our VP of Finance, Alex, our VP of Marketing, Connor, our VP of HR, and as well as Aiden, our Secretary. Now let's take a look at our new members. We had 21 new members join us in 2023 and 17 more members join us in 2024, up until now, making it a total of 38 new members joining us this past school year, which is amazing.
We've had so many people join us throughout this year. As for 2023, the new members of that year are Matthew, Ethan, Henry, Sungyeon, Christopher, John, Shreya, Madison, Hyungjun, John, Sungwoo, Ariant, Nidhi, sorry if I butchered your name, Claire, Grace, Ria, and Karen. And in 2024, we had Camille, Aiden, Claire, Jason, Jake, Rishikesh, and Karen. And we had a total of 7 new members in 2024. The number of members in Voice of Calling has increased by a lot since the founding of our organization. We currently have 67 active members in total.
And our highest achieving member for this year was Connor Kim. So congrats, Connor. And Connor put in 105 hours for the 2023 to 2024 year and 317 hours in total since he's joined Calling. Now, we also have the Presidential Service Volunteer Service Award, which we do give out at VOC. And in order to receive this award, what you need to do is first you need to create a spreadsheet or a certificate that shows the service hours you've earned in other organizations, not VOC. And then you need to have a separate spreadsheet for the Voice of Calling with the service hours. And then you need a spreadsheet that combines both of the service hours of all your organizations. And then you can send them to Chion Teacher and see if you're qualified for the award. Now, for the 2023 to 2024 year, our awardees for the medal are for gold. We have Sean Kim, Connor Kim, Ian Lee, and Soyoung Jung, and Chiu Lim. For silver, we have Yuan Hong. For bronze, we have Tyler Park, Evan King, and Pranav Basnet.
Although we happily welcome our new members, we unfortunately have to say goodbye to our graduating seniors as well. Let's congratulate all of our graduates for working so hard during their time here at Voice of Calling and being such amazing role models. We wish you all the best in college, and do not forget, once a member, forever a member. Congrats to David Chung, who will be going to Carnegie Mellon, Emily Rue, who will be going to Pepperdine, Joseph Lee at UC Santa Barbara, Elliot Jing at UC Berkeley, Sean Kim at Brown, Eileen King at UC Irvine, Yuan Hong at UC Riverside, Jacob Guan at UC Berkeley, Joshua Kim at USC, Eva Choi at UC Berkeley, Samuel Lim at UC Berkeley, and Sophie Park at Pomona. Tua Kim at Cornell, Evan King at UC Santa Cruz, Taeyeon Peck at UPenn, Nathan King at Princeton University, and Sharon Kim, Zoe Islam, Jacob Sun, and Ashton Castro at USC.
So although it's sad to see our members graduate, it's time for a new start. So it's time to introduce our 2024 to 2025 board, and we'll go ahead and start with the presidents.
Hello, my name is Aiden Park. I am a rising senior at North Hollywood High School, and I'll be one of your presidents of education for the 2024-25 school year.
I'm Connor. I'm going to 12th grade at Granada, and I'm also the president of education.
Hi, I'm Baron. I'll be a rising senior at Van Nuys, and I'll be your 2024 to 2025 president of operations.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a rising senior at Harvard Westlake, and I'm going to be one of your president of operations for the 2024 to 2025 season.
Hi, my name is Ian Lee, and I'm going to be a rising junior at New Covenant Academy, and I'll be your VP of marketing for the 2024-2025 school year.
Hi, my name is Esther, a rising junior at North Hollywood High School, and I'll be your VP of technology for the 2024 to 2025 school year.
Hi everyone, my name is Raekwon. I'm a rising senior at the Overlake School in Washington, and I'm going to be your VP of Human Resources this year.
Hello, my name is Philip Jing. I am a rising junior at Portola High School, and I am a VP of finance.
Hi, I'm Jihu or Julia Lim, and I'm a rising junior at Lincoln High School, and I'll be your new secretary this year.
You are who you are.
And we will, for Voice of Calling 2024 to 2025. And a big thank you to everyone who put in hours this year and just for being a member of Voice of Calling. We're looking forward to another year of teaching and giving with you guys. Thank you.
So normally we do this in person, but since multiple members of the board are not living in California, we can't do it in person. So you're just gonna have to imagine us cutting a cake. All right, and with that, this meeting is over. Do not forget to log your service hours. So we started at 6:30 to 7:30 now, so you can put down 1 hour.
Before you guys leave, can we please all turn on our cameras just to take one group photo to commemorate this year?
Come on, guys, get your cameras on. There we go.
Hey, I'll just take the picture. Actually, look, you can someone else take the picture. Okay, I think we're good. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys for coming.
Okay.
All right, see you guys.
All right, see you at 8.